Welcome to the Little Owl Press Report. For the next few minutes, you will be listening to the events that have taken place during the first quarter at the Madawaska Elementary School. Our fifth grade reporters have combined personal interviews, photos, and video footage to develop their news stories. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. Now here are Dasha and myself to tell us about a safety contest. On October 2, 2019, Dr. Sawana Sidorchak, a doctor from Northern Maine Medical Center, came to talk with the fifth grade students in the Madawaska Elementary School library about Tar Wars, a non-smoking presentation. The Education Department through Northern Maine Medical Center and Acadia Health Center helped organize the event. The students learned about the effects of smoking and vaping on the body. They did an activity where they ran in place for a few minutes while trying to breathe through a straw. It showed them how it would feel to have a smoker's lungs.
They also watched a slideshow that showed them the effects of smoking and vaping. The fifth grade students around the valley got a chance to enter a poster contest to show them what they learned about smoking. Judges will choose 3 winners from each school in the valley. The winning posters will be sent to be judged at the state level. These organizations want to get the message to the students at an early age that smoking is bad for the human body. Now, here are Alexis and Taylor to tell us about potato picking.
Thank you, Dasha. On Thursday, October 3, 2019, Mrs. Christina Chassie, a kindergarten teacher, organized a field trip for all kindergartners to go on a trip to go potato picking at Lisa Ann Raymond Moran's potato farm in St. David. Once they got there, they met the farmer's wife at her house, and she took them to meet the farmer. They watched the harvesters dig up the potatoes. The kids got to pick their own 5-pound bags of potatoes. They left the field and went to the potato house where they picked and cleaned the potatoes. They also picked out the moldy potatoes and the rocks.
The reason the students went potato picking was that the kindergarten teachers, Miss Christine Chassie and Miss Louise Albert, had taught the kindergarteners French words for potato harvest. Miss Christine Chassie, one of the MES kindergarten teachers, stated, when the kindergarteners visited the potato house, they had an apple and some water for a snack. They enjoyed the bus ride by looking out the window at the pretty, colorful trees. Now here are Violet and Alexis to tell us about pumpkin painting.
Thank you, Taylor. On Friday, October 18th, all students from pre-K to 6 and their families were welcome to attend Pumpkin Painting Night in the Madawaska Elementary School cafeteria. Children brought in their own pumpkins. The PTA supplied paint and other decorations to decorate the pumpkins. Popcorn was served, and families had a very good time decorating their pumpkins. During this event, the children and their families chose what decorations they wanted to use on their pumpkins.
The PTA tries to provide fun activities for the students. It's a big hit every year, and the students and families seem to really enjoy it. The PTA would like to thank all the families who came and supported PTA Pumpkin Painting Night. Ms. Jill Corbin, PTA President, stated we had a great turnout and hope to have a great event again next year. Now here are Lucy and Michaela to tell us about the kindergarten fire station visit.
Thank you, Alexis. On October 18, 2019, the kindergarten students of both Mrs. Louise Albert and Mrs. Christine Chassie's kindergarten classes participated in the kindergarten fire station visit at the Madawaska Fire Department. Mrs. Louise Albert and Mrs. Christine Chassie arranged this visit because they think it's important that kindergarten students know the fire safety. This activity took place because October is Fire Safety Month. Also, little kids sometimes won't take it as seriously if just teachers teach it. So instead, the firemen taught the importance of fire safety. It's also important that little kids aren't afraid of firemen in their fireproof suits. The firemen dressed up to show the kindergarten students that there's nothing to be afraid of in case of a real situation. During this activity, the kindergarten students got a tour of the ambulance and the fire truck. The kindergartners got to ask questions and have them answered by the firefighters. Mrs. Louise Albert would like to thank Mr. Chris and Albert and his team at the fire department for being great presenters. She stated, Mr. Albert enjoyed the visit just as much as the kindergartners. Now here is Shane to tell us about the pre-K fire safety guest speakers.
Thank you, Michaela. On October 30, 2019, Sparky the fire dog and a firefighter, Chris Albert, from Madawaska Fire Department came to speak to the pre-K students at Madawaska Elementary School in Miss O'Brien's classroom. This was organized by Miss Carrie O'Brien, a pre-K teacher. Mr. Albert talked about fire safety rules, like not playing with matches or fire around the house. He got dressed in his fire suit to show the students what he looked like and not to be scared of firefighters. Students learned how to stop, drop, and roll. They then went outside to explore the fire truck and what it does. They had a chance to sit in the truck. They especially liked turning the lights on. Miss O'Brien stated, "It's good for the little ones to know and understand fire safety in a fun way." Now here is Logan to tell us about Acadian dancing.
Thank you, Shane. On November 6th, third graders went to MES Cafeteria to do some Acadian dancing with Miss Cindy LaRocque from Lewiston, Maine. The Maine Acadian Heritage Council, along with school administration, brought Miss LaRocque to the valley to work with students from Frenchville, Fort Kent, and Madawaska. She showed them social Acadian dances and had them participate in these dances. Her accompanist played music while they danced. The council believes it is important to introduce Acadian music and dance to students at a young age to preserve the culture of the community. Ms. Lise Pelletier, the school principal, stated, "I think it's an awesome activity for students to learn about the culture in a fun way." Now here are Ian and Ashton to tell us about the book fair.
Thank you, Logan. From November 4th to November 8th, the Scholastic Book Fair was held at Madawaska Elementary School. It was organized by Miss Dublova, the librarian, and Miss Carrie O'Brien, the pre-K teacher. All staff and students, parents, and guardians got to buy cool books with Legos, crafts inside the books. Posters, there were also pencils, calculators, erasers, and highlighters that could be purchased at the book fair.
There were two cash registers. One register had $4,000, the other register had $1,000. In all, the book fair made $5,000. Miss Lavoie stated, "The book fair gives funding to purchase books for our library." She would like to thank everybody that participated in the book fair, and especially Miss O'Brien for helping to organize the book fair. Now here are Carter and Matthew to tell us about Dino Man.
Thank you, Ashton. On November 7, 2019, Dino Man came to speak to all MES students and most of the staff in the MES gym. Currently, the shows are only performed by Bob Lassayas, who performed at MES, and the accomplished actor Paul Laverick, in order to keep the quality of the production consistent. Miss Lise Pelletier, the school principal, organized Dino Man presentation. Dino Man came to Madawaska after his presentation in Frenchville and Fort Kent. Stephanie Nadeau of Fort Kent referred Dino Man to Miss Pelletier.
Dino Man had two presentations. The first was for students in grades K to 2. He focused on dinosaurs and fossils. The second presentation was for students in grades K to 3. He focused on how planets had an impact on dinosaurs. During each presentation, Dino Man had members of the audience help him with what he was doing. In one demonstration, Dino Man showed students a baseball in a funnel that was levitating by the air from a leaf blower, pushing the baseball into the air. He had a wild stuffed squirrel that helped him make a fossil, and he blew up huge dinosaur balloons at the end of each presentation to show the size of these creatures. Miss Pelletier said, "I thought Dino Man did a great job presenting science in a funny way."
Thanks for watching!